welcome back. It's your girl Briera, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'd like to first and foremost thank our Heavenly Parents, Mother, Father, Source of Creation, for giving me this opportunity to be here with you today. I would like to do a quick angel guide oracle reading for the Cancers. This will be an angel guide oracle reading that helps to focus on your strength, heart, and guidance at this time. I would like to call on the Holy Spirit and my spirit team to please come to my side to help me deliver divine messages that is of the highest white light. Remember, these messages are general, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right. Whew, Cancer. I don't know why I feel so out of breath, Cancer. Like, whew, I'm like, oh my goodness, what is happening? What is happening? But listen, let's just jump right into your angel guide oracle reading, Cancer, and see what the strength is at this time. I feel like it's all about really keeping your vibration high, right? And I feel like making sure that you understand deeply the microscope you probably are under when responding to certain things in the world, or you know, in your personal life, your journey, however you want to see it. And I feel like your responses is ultimately going to determine how things play out for you on a larger scale, and that's like levels to that. So I feel like as an individual, make sure you are pacing yourself, make sure you are doing what you need to do so that you don't feel this need to rush or this need to get yourself into a panic at all. So yeah, let's just see what your strength is at this time, Cancer. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Spirit Team. We have Sword of Light. Sword of Light, okay? And I feel like that is your strength at this time. Understanding your protection for truly what it is, right? Understanding that you go through things as an individual and you help people in your own way, but don't forget that it should be reciprocated like right away and steady for you to really understand what it is and why it is. I feel like it's important to see that someone can get really stuck in the spiritual aspect of things without even truly comprehending it. And it doesn't have to be like full blown like in it, but it can be like a little much when it comes to certain interactions or certain conversations, because I feel like it's important to be able to be, you know, in this masses type of energy. It is very helpful and creative. So I feel like you making sure that you are pacing yourself and understanding that you don't need to know all the answers and you don't need to know the whys necessarily, but understand that having a vision of your own will truly help you to see yourself in another, help you to see that there's really no shame when you understand your heart and your divine being for what it is. But you also have to understand the human and the needing to be focused and accepting love, so that you don't become just like one of them. What does that mean though? I'm so sorry. Whatever. But no, it's very helpful to see that we can get really lost in that, and it's an unfortunate place to be when you're trying to get to be more grounded in spirituality now, because when you become everything you are, you can truly just well, this is what it is, and this is what it's not, and that's what it's going to be, and this is how it's going to be. So when you know that, and it's like that in itself, just like it's not something that we don't want to continue to move forward, but it's just more like we can get lost in that. And then I say that as a situation that has transpired in my own personal life. But I say that is something we really need to see and and comprehend that as being individuals and being beings of the universe, because it's not necessarily, and which it can be, and that's where it gets a little tricky, because it can be like, more, right? It can be people, like human beings and people or people you don't even know, that's actually like listening on you, or did something to this and did something to that. But I feel like as a real actual living breathing specimen of the universe, you have to see that at some point things will have to be what it truly is in order for you to continue to thrive. So then having these moments and making sure we are putting the energy out there to be able to come back to is actually beneficial for our entire makeup, right? So I see it from a lot of different angles, but understand your protection and the really making sure you are keeping your vibration high, and why that is so important, and why not, understand the real true judgment of it all, right? And I feel like that's you seeing beyond and understanding your current situation for truly what it is for yourself, if no one else, right? And I feel like you're not flawed in any way, Cancer, okay? You're a beautiful soul. So let's see what the blessings are that you carry in your heart. Emerald tablet activation. Emerald tablet activation. Divine alchemy, conscious manifesting, and cosmic ordering, right? I feel like you're really wise though, and it's not like, it's this emotional detachment that I feel like it really has done a number probably on your heart and on your mind for a long time. So, and I'm saying that as just being someone that could probably comprehend things that is helpful and beneficial for a lot of different levels, right? And it's like, but understanding how you can truly get lost in that, in the real connections and the real understanding about what's happening and what's not happening for yourself as an individual, and in the world that surrounds you, physically or even spiritually, right? Or even spiritually. So I feel like that's the conscious manifesting that needs to continue to be paid attention to for yourself and others. You have to continue to find those pressure points. I feel like that's what's really been going on. We have to find the pressure points, and until we see the reactions of everything from every different angle, then we'll understand the whole makeup and how things probably has transpired, right? But I feel like that's something that I feel like has been done multiple different ways and fashions, but it still shows that the only problem is being someone that is self-centered, right? So like being someone that is constantly on your phone, or constantly given to something like that or something like this, and then when something real comes along, it's like really hard to distinguish the two, because this is what I've been really focused on. And that's kind of what it all boils down to be, is that making sure you are pacing yourself though, and keeping your vibration high, understanding that you don't want to miss opportunities when it comes to who you are, just to entertain something new, or to just completely end something, right? So you want to make sure that you are truly focused and being steadfast in your beliefs, and understanding the impossibilities, or the impossible circumstances for what they truly are, and accepting them. Because if you believe in the impossible, I think things will continue to work out like in the best way possible, because you know it's not even about believing. And I went through this whole situation when, I don't know what age, but it just recently came back to me when I found out there was no real Santa, and the devastation, but still the okayness in one's heart, because you already know things are not what they appear to be, just based off being some, like, mature for your age and listening and watching. And nowadays children do that, even if though they are playing, because it's the innocence of it all. It's the really not knowing but knowing. It's the I'm not blindsided, or I'm not, like, confused. I'm just more like, really, like, why can't this be more, innocent based, instead of having to know that there's nothing, or, my mom's doing that, or my dad's doing that, or it's usually, like the tooth fairy type of stuff. It's just like, I don't know. But you have to see the activations for what they are for yourself, and understanding that that's why I said the pressure points might seem a bit much, but that's why I'm like, if it's not to help everyone, I don't know why someone else will do this, when we understand the sacrifice of what is needed and what someone will do for the whole. And that's where I feel like Jesus and this and all the over exaggeration of people doing things in this time to really set things up for the future, for the betterment of it all, not to continue to do what has already been done and seen. And even if it hasn't been a long time of certain energies, it's been enough time to certain energies. So just understanding that for what it is something you really have to continue to pay attention to when it comes to pacing yourself, and not allowing for yourself to get, like, confused with understanding what leaving a legacy is, because knowing that love is legendary is important, and really deeply understood by everyone. So you don't need to, you know really feel like you're in this panic mode about anything, or you know developing unhealthy habits. Just make sure you are focused and contributing to the whole in the correct way, but making sure that you don't forget that people are just like you, because you never really know why you are placed in certain situations. And when you are constantly someone that's just like giving and giving and giving, and it's not really reciprocated in a certain way, and it just comes in one form, in one person, in one remembrance of who someone saw you as, and it's like, whoa, that's a lot, that's a lot. But I can see the flip side of that, and I feel like you have to be really in this high vibrational energy to get what's really happening. That's why I told everyone before that how things come in, these changes is really about the frequency level you are at. And sometimes I don't know where people's minds are, so it's like, I don't know if you really comprehend it, but I hope you do. So what's the guidance for everyone? We feel like the star activation and Shambhala initiation. I feel like it's learning from these spiritual experiences that's really going to help you, and you really being able to see the infinite potential of yourself and the world as a whole, because it's all about recreating and living out your truths. I'm not, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I don't want to just speak on things I don't know. I just trust what my soul desires, and so should you, okay? And I feel like continue to ask to be of service in the best way that you possibly can, and trust the process no matter what, okay? Trust the process and see what your inconsistent patterns are. You know, I speak to myself just like this all day. So we know. So I'm so sorry. It's not funny. It's nothing's funny. I'm so sorry. I know my daughter says that so now too. I'm so sorry, mom. It's not like that, but I have to teach the baby not to be so sorry because I'm not saying like I'm so sorry. I'm just saying, man, my bad, my bad, my bad. You know, my bad, my bad. My fault. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, well, let's see what this breakthrough energy is, right? Let's see what this divine protection is. Let's see what this cutting cords, you know, not being afraid to cut cords and understanding the truths for what they are. It's like, oh man. I don't know. And it's like truths even about yourself. It's like it don't got nothing to do with nobody else, but like even about yourself. Like that's kind of like wow. You know, it's not even it's just like, oh. But you know, let's see what this sort of light is. That felt yeah. But you know, that's what you know being this type of individual and even understanding the spiritual call look at this ain't a bad card. I'm trying to be open-minded, I'm trying to stay rooted and grounded, but a bitch. Yes. Oh, yeah. But anyways, so I'm just like, okay, listen, we as individuals can really get lost in not having someone in a certain manner, right? And no matter what that someone is, and when you really actually have time and you talk and things like that, it shouldn't be you not really accepting things for what they truly are. Okay, this card just distracted me, so I'm gonna just keep moving forward, but I just want you to understand that. Okay. Yeah. Life is amazing. This is sort of like, I hope you guys are doing good tonight, okay? I really do. Let's see this sort of like. We have the Chariot, okay? And I feel like things are probably really moving forward in your life, yeah, in the best way possible, okay? And I feel like you have to continue to be patient, okay? Understanding the boundaries for what they are. Like I said, it's okay to think you know more about things, or to even be someone that is seated or in a situation where it's like constant under this microscope type of energy, but understand how you are moving forward and taking control over your mind and your body that is seeing beyond your current situation, and how just because you know something now, it predicts the future. Like the things are always changing and things are always growing, and everybody has these pressure points and these dark spots on their souls. So understanding the extractions for what they truly are is really what will continue to help you move forward, and moving forward confidently, okay? Understanding how to keep your vibration high, understanding how and why it's important to stay rooted and grounded and not be deeply hurt you know, buy things that others may or may not have been fully aware of, but it's nice to have that judgment for yourself. So like, we don't have to repeat same behaviors that we did when it's not necessary. So where did everybody mess up, and how can everybody fix it, you know? And it's best to be in your own energy at this time, okay? And I mean that as a being an individual. It's best to be in your own energy and making sure you are where you are supposed to be, because you don't want to get caught up not knowing the full depths of what it's calling for everyone to be. Because if these things are true, then that means there's infinite potential of who you are and why you specifically were created. Okay? So it's important to know that. So what's this chariot though? Yeah, with the Ace of Pentacles, okay? I feel like continue to move forward and understand your growth for what it is. Like I said, it's possibilities, it's opportunities that you don't want to truly give up on, and you don't want, you know, to develop this yawning for you know, this grand like entrance of things, but being content with who you are and why you are, understanding that it is continuing to just achieve differently than what was taught, that is helping this speedy intelligence and overcoming obstacles, okay? So in challenging moments. And I feel like that's another thing too when it comes to cutting cords, okay? I feel like cutting cords, that divine protection, it's like, what's this Emerald Tablet activation? With Five of Wands and the Magician, okay? Five of Wands and the Magician. It's like that's that energy of being emotionally detached because of what you think you already have or you can do with the power that resides within you and that surrounds you, okay? I feel like continue to make sure that you are releasing from needing to I mean, I yeah. It and like don't fight over something. Like whether it's money, positions, anything. It's like that is a very limitation type of energy, like on the grand scale of things. I feel like you need to be yourself though. And yeah. See the conscious manifesting for what it is. Why the Five of Wands with the Magician? Yeah, with the Page of Pentacles. It's like in someone's heart there, yeah. In someone's heart there's a lot of sadness and a lot of truth about where someone is and why someone is, and it just brings out this fight type of energy, this, you know, struggle of the past and struggle of the present and struggle of the future, limitation type of energy. And it's a lot of youthfulness, and it's an unfortunate situation because it's on both sides. It's not only on this side or that side, but it's on both sides. So you have to see that, because I feel like, you know, this is a time for twins to truly reconnect in different ways, and there's a lot of childish behaviors that's been stopping that whole twin union from coming together. So, and that's with the Hierophant, the Two of Swords, and the High Priestess. is, oh, with the, this one was flipped over with the 9 of Swords. So, or 8 of Swords, excuse me. But yeah, I'm telling you, you have to continue to listen to your intuition, stay grounded, stay rooted, stay positive. Make sure that things are truly what they are for you and your family, okay? But it's really important to see that, you know, what has truly been, you know, blocking things. And I feel like it's the youthness, you know, and already knowing people's positions or feeling like you know people's positions or their stances before actually getting to know them or reuniting with them, right? I feel like someone is not, you know, really in a good place. And I don't know how to put that, you know. I feel like, you know, it's all this talk about the second coming and this and blah blah blah. And it might be, right? But if you put yourself in this panic and not like actually see how you can be positioned to do anything good, you know, to make anything better for yourself and those that surround you, regardless of how you do it, right? Even if you're only interacting with one person, or even if you're only doing this, you're doing something. You're not just closed in and I can, you know, it's like, geez Louise. But I feel like I would continue to just make sure things are rooted and grounded in the truth and light of who you are. And I feel like things will continue to divinely work itself out. But I feel like that competition and that fighting and that, you know, bickering and the childish behaviors is sickening to someone. It brings out this anxiety and that fast paced feeling like you have to do this and you have to do that, and like it brings out too much. And I feel like it's the self-confidence that is truly the key to success, okay? And you have to remember that and see the goodness of your soul as you really rise above the things that is like puppets, you know, that is somebody else pulling the strings of something to make something be, or if you even feel like that could be what it is, right? So when you rise above it and actually stay focused on where you are supposed to be and why you are supposed to be, you see that, you know, it's just, it all can't be about you, even though it really should be about you, because you are an individual and you should be able to have the world surround you. But when you are, you know, who you say you are, you have to understand it can't be all about you, and you don't want to make the same mistakes of the past just to make the same mistakes of the past. So, what's this stellar gateway activation with Shambhala initiation? I feel like continue to just know who y'all are. All right, with the Fool, okay, with the Fool. I feel like, see the infinite, I do see this one sticking out, the Six of Wands, but see the infinite potential for truly what it is. I feel like, yeah, and that's why we're really here, and you know, things are being held back because yeah, there's just a lot of instability within a lot of things that we all indulge in. And you know, I'm only one person, unfortunately, and you're only one person, so we just have to see how things continue to work out. But making sure, being that individual, you can see what your soul truly desires and how to manifest that into your conscious, you know, reality and your conscious manifesting behaviors, right? So understanding that love is legendary, right? What's this Fool here? But I feel like That's the guidance, though, to not be in this absent energy or neglecting anything, but understanding the opportunities for what they are and why they are. Why the Fool? We have the Ten of Cups and the World. Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, you don't really, it's not even that you don't want to build with something new or mend something, but it's like some people are really in this Ten of Swords energy and they don't even like really be telling the truth about that. So like they hide behind what we will consider to be strength and what we will consider to be, but it's truly only heartbreak and deceit. So you have to be careful when thinking about things in from the past in a nostalgic way. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of sadness, but there's a lot of strength and happiness, created through understanding what your true growth is and understanding that things really was bad, but they wasn't as detrimental when you understand the growth and what's needed next. And I feel like what's needed next is for you to come out of your shell, right? You to come out of being someone to always have to do things in a certain way to get certain reactions, yeah, and certain things to be what they should already be, based off of understanding that love is the key to all. So that's the hidden thing. Oh, because we are just so so I'm just saying, you gotta see what it is. But okay, Cancer, that's really all I have for you. Okay, um so yeah, I'm just like, Cancer, this was very interesting in real life. So I do hope something resonated with you. Okay, I am sending you peace, love, and light, and until next time.